Hey guys, Sky here. So a lot of you have been asking questions, which I'm very glad with, because now I get to answer them. So I'm just gonna make a video for this. Okay, first question a lot of people are asking is about the tank size. And, okay, so here's my tank. It is a 27 gallon, I believe. Now, it's not very tall. It's probably like 11 to 13 inches tall, I believe, I think. What I would suggest actually is getting a vivarium or making your own vivarium, because they are tree lizards and they like to climb upwards. Like, they have to climb up. So a vivarium would actually be a better idea, because then they have more climbing space and it's bigger, because they're gonna get pretty big. They're going to get about, hold on, I have a manual. Oops, oh my gosh. Hold on, here it is. Oops, sorry about that. So, they're gonna live approximately 15 years. They're gonna grow up to 36 inches long, and they live in a tropical environment, and that's a dragon. I got this out, that's smart. But, yeah, so they're gonna get pretty big, and you're gonna need a big tank. And, right now, I know this is not big enough, but, I've had her since August, and we're already starting to build a vivarium for her, because she's getting really big and she's grown a lot since we've got her. So, yeah. So we're building a vivarium, and it should be done by like when the summer comes, and when she'll be a year old, she'll have a vivarium to live in, and it's a really big vivarium, so you know, it'll be better for her. So if you guys were wondering about that. Another thing is care. A lot of people are asking, well, not by a lot of people, I mean one person, but you know, this is one of the questions that was asked. Is there any special care for a baby dragon? And no, you don't need special care, but what I do suggest is making sure that they have calcium in the calcium supplement in their food is one thing. And the next thing is making sure that your temperature and your tropical humidity levels are up to the standards that they need to be at, because if they're not high enough, if the humidity for one is not high enough, and if you don't have enough water in there for them to absorb it through, then they will get sick, and they will probably, if they get really sick and you don't treat them soon enough, they will die, because I did lose a dragon from that. It was my first dragon, and I didn't have a fog machine, so that's also a thing I suggest, getting a fog machine. If it happens to break, if you get a fog machine and it breaks down, call the company and they will send you a part. The reason it might have broken down was the fan, and that's like the main problem. They need to fix that. But mine, I had two of them, and one of them broke down, and we were going to return it, but then we just called the company. Well, we bought another one, but then we were going to return the other one, but we never did. And they just sent us a new fan, and then we put it in, and it worked. So now I have an extra fogger, so we're going to put that in the new vivarium, so that way she has more fog. Or we're just going to get a really big fog machine, like an industrial one. But, yeah, that's one thing that you definitely need to check on, because you can have, like, a lot of issues with that. And also about the, supplement, make sure there's calcium supplement in your food, so that way they don't get metabolic bone disease, which is a bone disease, and it turns them lame because their bones aren't strong enough. So that's what will happen. Thank God my dragon doesn't have it, because I give her this supplement. I use Repticalcium by Zoomed. Oh, the person who I answered their question, it's Zoomed, not Flukers. But, yeah, I use this stuff with the crickets, and sometimes I use it on the mealworms. I don't usually use it on the mealworms, but I do feed her phoenix worms every once in a while, and that really definitely helped with my checkup on the vet, because when the vet did a checkup on her, she had very strong bones, and she could grab onto her hand, so that's a good thing. But, yeah, this dragon's doing way better than my last dragon, if anyone ever saw my other videos on my other channel. But those videos are gone now because I didn't want to look back on them. but she was really small and she was really bad. But yeah, so another thing, the tank, oh, care. Okay, so for care and feeding and water, I have this little container for her water, and it's like a bathtub for them basically, and she uses it to soak. She soaks in it every day. So that's also a good thing, because they also, besides like getting the humidity from the fogger and just their room and their temperature, they need to drink water. And if you ever had like a nollies or something and you sprayed it on the leaves, that's not going to work, because they won't always drink from the leaves. So a water bowl will be best, because they also soak in it, and it helps them with their shedding during shedding season, when they're shedding their skin, because it helps loosen the skin and it helps them get the skin off. And it helps, and also if they can't get the skin off, it could cause like body parts coming off, so that's not good. And I mean, that's natural, I guess it happens, but you don't want that to happen, because then it's, you know, it affects their lives. So yeah, definitely get a water bowl and don't just spray it, because spraying is also good if you don't have a fogger, but you have to spray it really frequently during the day, or else the humidity levels will get low. I know my humidity levels are low right now, but I just turned off the fogger, because the fogger was on all day and it was at like 80, and I just turned it off, but my temperature is good. What's another thing? Feeding. Best to vary their diet, and when they're young, when you get a baby dragon, try to get them prone to eating vegetables too. They eat cilantro, vegetables and fruit, I should say. They will eat cilantro, mango, banana, papaya, you know, a bunch of different things, because they are omnivores like us, but they're mostly carnivorous. So just don't get them prone to eating that every day, but get like 3 times a week maybe, or 2 times a week. Just like practice with them. You can even stick a couple mealworms in, like you can take some cilantro, chop it up, stick some mealworms in there like hidden, so that way they'll have to eat the cilantro in order to get the mealworms, and then they'll get accustomed to that taste, because then, so that way, just in case you run out of mealworms or something, like let's say, like the other day, I ran out of mealworms and I couldn't buy one till the next day, and she never eats it though, like, so, and that's the other thing. If your dragon won't eat it and they don't want it and they don't like it, then don't keep feeding it to them, because they won't eat it if you end up running out of food. So but I tried putting lettuce in there and she wouldn't eat it, because she's carnivorous. So I had to wait till the next day, but she was fine, you know. It's not like she was starving or anything, you know. She could last a day, because she eats a lot in a day. But things I suggest for feeding them, especially when they're small dragons, get them phoenix worms and mealworms and crickets covered in calcium powder, so that way you can get their bones like nice and strong, and make sure that they have strong bones when they're young, because then that's the best thing to do, you know. And that's what I'm doing. And I got her in August, so find those calculations. I think she was hatched in April. But I got her from this pet store. I know you guys are going to hate on me, because I got her from a pet store, and I know better than that. But this one, I went originally to go with my brother to get a hamster, and then I just saw her, and I was like, you know, I have a tank, I have the money, I'm going to get her, because she looks like, I wanted to save her, really, is the reason why, because I don't like it when they're in there, and I really don't agree on that. And I wanted to go to a reptile expo, but the next one wasn't until like November, so I just, you know, I really wanted to help her, get her out of there, so that way she wouldn't end up like those gigantic water dragons that you see in those tiny kind of cages, and oh, it's horrible. But anyways, another thing I would highly suggest is getting 2 UVB bulbs, because this also helps with the calcium and their bones. Because the way their body soaks in that heat in that lamp, it's like a special, you can't use just fluorescent lights, because that's not going to work. You have to get specific tropical, because these are like, they radiate more heat than fluorescents. And this is also gives them, it's like basking lights basically. And then another is a heat lamp for the nighttime. I put mine on all day because my room is very drafty and it has trouble keeping in the heat, so these definitely help with my heating. That's why it's at 90 right now, and that's a good thing because that's what she needs. Also, another thing I would suggest because you need a warm side and a cool side. That's my cool side, this is my warm side. I have a heat pad over here on this side, so that way when she's done eating and she can come here and bath, and she gets the heat from the heat lamp and the heat from the heat pad. So that's also a great thing that I would suggest. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. You don't need the heat pad, but you definitely need the heat bulb and 2 UVBs. So priority if you're getting a baby dragon, especially a baby, I would actually suggest juveniles, getting a juvenile, because a baby is way, way harder to handle than, you know, juveniles. And try getting it from a breeder, not a pet store like I did, because I made a mistake. You know, it was just, you know, because I'm just, you know, an animal lover and I wanted to get her out of there. And I know she's not looking, like, she's like laying down now, but it's her bedtime. It's pretty late, so don't worry about her. She's okay. But, I would suggest getting a juvenile or maybe even an adult because they're already tamed, and, you know, taming a baby dragon isn't like... It's time consuming and you have to hold them every day, and if you're a busy person, or let's say like me, I still go to school, I'm still going to school, so it's like harder for me to handle her every day because with homework and then school it gets in the way. So I would suggest getting a juvenile, not a baby dragon like I did, because then they're harder to handle, and then, you know, but the good thing about getting a baby dragon, if you do know what you're doing and you follow my guidelines, let's say, and you get a baby dragon, the good thing about that is you get to see them grow and watch them grow up and see how they grow. So that's a good thing about it, I guess. I don't know. And then you get to tame them because then you know what you're handling, and then you get more of a bond, I guess. I don't know. So these are just my tips. What my suggestions for you, because this is working for me, and you know, you guys are asking questions and I love it. And if you have any more questions about anything, maybe I missed something in the video that you want to know about, please ask me and I will answer your question in the next video. I'll do a care tutorial, I'll do a handling tutorial, or I'll do a feeding tutorial, whichever you guys, you know, would like if I missed something. So definitely comments below, ask me your questions or tell me if I missed anything. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and tell your friends if they're reptile lovers to come check out this channel and subscribe, because I have a lot of nice videos on here. So thanks guys, and keep watching. Bye.